I think the biggest thing with that, and with Hendrix as well, is your experimentation and almost like mistakes that were done on purpose in a way. It was just like fate.
Well, I think, no, the mistakes weren't done on purpose. I mean, we left them in on purpose. There's a big difference between mistakes being left in on purpose and mistakes that were just genuine mistakes, and that you, as a producer slash engineer or the artist, you look at the mistake and go, that's either cool or it's crap, and I either have to get rid of that or I incorporate it into what I'm doing. So we chose more often than not to incorporate it.
Can you expand on any, just like maybe a specific example of just like one of the crazier things like last night I thought was very interesting was
the panning and the fact that that console, the Helios console, had beautifully laid out board. It was ergonomically correct so that if you were mixing, if your hand was on the fader, the pan pot was right there, so it became very easy for me to do panning. And I used panning a lot in a lot of these mixes, which is kind of my signature thing, is moving the images around, but doing it in such a way that it's in time with the music, that it enhances what the music is doing. So, yeah, panning was one. I was certainly doing different things with EQ and compression and reverb and trying to manipulate the sound, even though we had very little to work with. What do we have? We had EQ, compression, reverb. Basically, that's it. That's all we had. We had no phasing, yeah, okay, and a little bit of tape delay. But I still use those principles in what I do today. It's still the same basic idea. It's the same concept. Keep it very simple and let the music speak for itself.
Well, what you were just talking about with old and new, I think a lot of people. I mean, we're here at Columbia, and there's a lot of people that are going to be moving into recording and engineering as like professional jobs, etc., mixing and.
Well, that requires a lot of luck these days. Certainly, the standard of education here is pretty high, and I was watching the guys work yesterday. They're very good. The crew was great on the stage, and hopefully the crew will be good in the audio side of things. So the advice that I give is broaden your scope. Learn how to work in the film industry, TV, radio, front of house. There's many aspects to sound. Don't sort of say, oh, I'm going to be a great studio engineer. Well, maybe not. Maybe you won't be able to get a job there, so at least get into the industry somehow.
With that said, when you showed some photos last night of when you were very young and you had some instruments and whatnot, and your parents, did they really encourage you to go into sound engineering? I mean, how did that happen? How did they think about?
I was studying to be a concert pianist. I was going to be a classical concert pianist, and right up until the age of about 14 or 15, I was still studying. Actually, no, I studied up till I was 18, I think, until the time I left school. But during that period when I was a teenager, that's when I sort of listened to jazz and to rock and roll, and then when I got to England, by the time I was 18 or 19, I said, that's it, okay, no more practicing, I found a different path. I made up my mind that I wanted to combine my love of audio and my love of music, and it was a logical conclusion to join the studio.